Hi, welcome to Applitools. I'm Raja Rao. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to get started with Applitools and some of the immediate significant benefits you're going to get by using Applitools. Okay, let's get started. First, install the Applitools ICE Selenium SDK by running the npm install ice.selenium. And once it's installed, import the SDK and then initialize the SDK and then set the Applitools API key. You can get the API key by logging into Applitools and clicking on the person icon and then my API key. Optionally, you may ask Applitools to scroll and take picture of the entire page of your application. Now, finally, you can start writing a test by calling ice.open and passing the application name, the test name, width, and height of the viewport. Then call ice.checkWindow to actually take the screenshot. And once it's done, call the ice.close to end the test. By the way, you may have multiple ice.checkWindows in your test if your test has multiple steps and you want to validate multiple pages in that single test. Now let's run the test. Note that this tutorial app can run different tests for different parts of the tutorial. Let's run the test for part 1 of the tutorial. All this does is to open the test app's login page, take the screenshot and close it. Now if you switch to Applitools dashboard, you will see that Applitools has stored the screenshot as the baseline and called the test as passed. Now let's run the test again, but run it against a different version of the app with some differences from the previous version and then compare the differences. To do that, let's run the part 2 of the tutorial. Now if you switch back to the dashboard, you will see that the test is marked as undecided. This means it is waiting for us to tell it if the differences are because of a new version or because it is actually a failed test. The nice thing is that the dashboard provides us various tools to analyze all the differences. For example, we can toggle differences between the baseline and the new screenshot. We can zoom into individual differences. We can highlight differences using the radar button and so on. Further, Applitools provides even more advanced features that are based on AI and algorithms, such as modes or match levels. Applitools provides 4 different types of modes or match levels. The first one is the strict mode, which is the default and it simulates the human eye. You can also change the mode to an exact mode. This does the pixel by pixel comparison. This is what other image comparison tools provide. The problem with this is that it compares every single pixel and you'll get a lot of false positives and unreliable results. But we still provide this mode so that you can use this for special cases. And the next one is called the content mode. The content mode is similar to the strict mode except that it ignores the differences in colors. This can be helpful if you're testing different color themes where the button colors change and so on. And the last one is the layout mode. The layout mode is useful if your app's content is dynamic, for example, a news website. This mode only checks for differences in the layout itself and not the content or anything else. Okay, let's switch back to the strict mode. And now let's imagine that this was in fact the new version of the app and this is not a bug. Now this is a real world situation where you constantly get newer versions of the app. And if you didn't have Applitools, you would have written lots of tests and validation code for the previous version of the app. And in this situation, you would have to rewrite most of them to match the new version of the app. But with Applitools, you don't have to change any code and simply accept new changes with the click of a button. Further, you can even automatically accept similar differences across multiple tests. So let's accept the changes and save it and rerun the test. Notice that the new test has passed because it is using the previously accepted screenshot as the baseline. Further, we provide plenty of even more advanced features to help with complex apps such as ignore region. This tells Applitools to ignore a specific region of the app from comparison. Similarly, we have floating region. This is where you tell Applitools to provide some extra wiggle room for the content to move around. And lastly, we also provide lots of test management features, such as our UI version control system that allows you to store all the images for all the versions of your app, similar to how you store your code on GitHub, and merge the baseline images from different branch, know exactly which code caused which UI bug, and so on. So hopefully this gave you an idea about how to use Applitools and how it can significantly help you succeed in your test automation efforts. And it goes without saying, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us, and we are here to help you. Thank you.